Thank you for joining us today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. My pronouns are she and her, and we are recording a live Zoom class from the ancestral lands of the Kalapuya Indians. Today we are going to open up those hips. So if you have spent a lot of time on your feet or a lot of time sitting or maybe traveling in a car or on a plane, this is gonna be the yoga practice for you. So let's start by sitting on a blanket or a pillow or a block, something where your where your hips can be nice and elevated. And just come into a comfortable cross-legged seat, Sukhasana with the ankles crossed, or Siddhasana with one heel drawn in toward the center and the second heel stacked in front of and kind of on top of the first. And we'll switch that around so that we can balance out those hips. And just notice how that kind of gives you space for your knees to sort of relax down towards the earth. And if it doesn't, you might want a taller, thicker support, or you may want to come into hero's pose seated on a block or two. So whatever is comfortable for you, but whatever you choose, make sure that you can be open through the hips and that you can find a nice tall seat. And let's just come into the present moment here. We have landed here. We are on our mats. Let's just sigh a breath of relief that we made it this far. So we'll inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth with a sigh. Maybe closing the eyes. Do that a couple more times. One more time. And it is March here at this recording. It is one of the first nice, sunny, warm days of 2022. And I have one of my blinds open to let the sun shine in. So just thinking about that warm, beautiful, life-giving sunshine, see if you can just draw length in the spine, drawing the crown of the head towards the sky, just like you were a plant, maybe a flower, maybe a beautiful long-stemmed rosebud. Think about your spine as the stem, and your head is this little closed rosebud. Just a little visualization. It kind of seems a little foo-foo yoga, granola, Birkenstocks, whatever you want to call it. But visualization helps us to strengthen the synapses in our mind. It helps us to let go of old patterns of thought that are no longer serving us. It helps us to focus on the present moment, letting go of the past, letting go of the future, helping to deal with depression and anxiety, because we can consciously bring our minds to the present moment. So with that in mind, just humor me a little bit, if you will, and visualize that long, beautiful stem of a spine, nice and strong, reaching upward towards the sun. Let those shoulders relax and let the elbows be heavy, and notice how you can relax the hips just a little bit more. Really grounding down towards the earth in your beautiful rose body. And then reach that rosebud of the crown of the head up towards the sky. Visualize that warm, life-giving sun up above you. And maybe you can energetically start to open the rosebud, allowing all the sunlight to come in between the petals, bathing your flower, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your spine, your legs, everything reaching upward and gathering all that sunlight, drawing it down through the spine into the center of the body, filling up your body with energy, with light. Just imagine as you inhale, you're drawing that light in through the crown of the head, down through the base of the spine, into your center. And as you exhale, let that radiant light pulse out and around you, glowing throughout the space you're in. Inhale, length and light. Exhale to soften and glow. And just kind of breathe with that pulse, noticing the length of your breath and seeing if you can deepen it and slow it down as you inhale and exhale, grounding down through your legs and your sit bones and reaching upward through the spine and the crown of the head, drawing light into your body and spreading it out around you. We'll just take 3 more breaths right there, allowing your body to be warm and soft and open, yet strong and energetic and bright. And if you hear my kitty cat in the background, just notice it and let it go. And then let's go ahead and remove whatever support you're sitting on and set it aside for just a moment. And we'll switch the cross of the legs if you have them crossed. If you're in a supported hero's pose, just go ahead and stay where you are. And we're just gonna find a few little movements in the neck and shoulders here. So let's inhale and raise the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, drawing them down through the heart center. We'll do that a few times here. Just inhaling, arms up to the sky, palms together, exhale, hands to heart. And this time as you reach up towards the sky, maybe look up and find your palms as they come together, and watch the thumbs as you exhale, the hands down towards the heart, getting a little stretch in the back of the neck as you follow the thumbs down, getting a little stretch in the front of the throat as you look up to find your palms. We'll just do that 2 more times. And then let's go ahead and interlace the fingers and bring the hands behind the neck. Let those thumbs come down along the sides of the neck for support, and interlace those fingers kind of at the base of the skull there. And as we inhale, we'll just kind of come into a soft cow, drawing the heart up. And as we exhale, we'll just round into a gentle cat, drawing the elbows toward one another. We'll inhale, cow pose, lifting the heart, arching the back. Exhale, cat, rounding forward, belly button towards the spine. And you can keep these movements as small as you like, or as big as you like. And just notice how the front of the body opens as you inhale into cow, and how the back of the body opens as you exhale and round forward into cat. We'll just find 1 more in each direction. And when you get down to cat, just release the hands and bring them to the knees or thighs, and just round forward and let the chin come to the chest and the head be heavy. And just breathe into the back body. Allowing the head to traction the spine and the neck. If you hear any sounds of people doing yard work out there, just come back to that sense of light and sun and springtime. And we'll roll one vertebrae at a time up to a tall seat again, reaching the arms up overhead towards the sun and exhaling palms down to the heart. Let's go ahead and take your block or a rolled up blanket or towel or bolster, whatever you have handy. And we'll come all the way down to the back and we'll come into a supported bridge position. So taking your support, we're gonna bend the knees, point them up towards the sky, feet flat on the floor, like we're getting ready for to press up into bridge pose. But instead of pressing up, we'll just lift the hips just enough to tuck that support right underneath the tailbone here, not on the pointy coccyx end part. We don't want to have any pressure down there, but have like the top of the block, the wide part, just about where you would have a belt. And then just kind of press into the triceps so you can lift the heart just enough to lay the shoulder blades nice and flat and snug down to the mat. And we'll walk the feet out as wide as the mat and allow those knees to just fall in towards one another to come into supported bridge pose. And you might need to adjust how close your feet are to your sit bones so that you can really just let those knees come in toward one another and support one another. And then you can bring your hands to your belly. Tuck the chin to keep that neck a nice long extension of the spine and allow the triceps to rest on the mat beside you. And just breathe that nice, deep, slow breath you established at the beginning of our practice. We'll just allow the hip flexors across the front of the hips to slowly begin to open and relax. Just breathing here. 3 more breaths. Maybe inhaling that bright sunshine. Exhaling that beautiful glow. You visualize it as light or as energy, prana. You can just visualize it as oxygen, carbon dioxide. Just keep your focus on the breath and play with it and let it be fun and joyful. And then let's go ahead and heel toe the feet to parallel so the knees are both pointed back up towards the sky. Let's extend through the left leg, allowing that left hip to just drape out across the block. And just continue to soften here. Breathing your breath, allowing the jaw to be soft, allowing the muscles of the face to be soft. Maybe stretching the left arm up overhead, getting long through the left side body, allowing the whole left side of the body to just be open and draped across your support. If your hips are really open and you want to stack 2 blocks on top of each other, or if you want a thicker bolster or blanket underneath you, you can definitely do that. But if you have any low back issues or if the hips are tight, just stay with this lower support. We'll take one more big inhale here, and as we exhale, we'll bring the sole of the left foot back to the mat and the left hand back to the belly. And then we'll extend through the right leg, allowing the right hip to open, allowing the right foot to just be soft and just kind of open out towards the side. Just melting here, just blah. Think just candle wax melting down the side of the jar. Soft, slow, gradual. Next time you inhale, if you want to go a little deeper, you can extend that right hand up over the head. And just let that whole right side of the body be nice and soft. Allowing the left side of the body to support you, while the right side of the body opens and softens. One more big inhale here. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale, sole of the foot back to the earth, right palm back to the belly. And then we'll either do that from side to side again, or if your low back and your hips can tolerate it, you might want to extend one leg out at a time so that both are extended out together. And if you're doing that, you may need to adjust the placement of the block. And you can also extend those arms both at the same time, up overhead. Get nice and long here as you inhale. And as you exhale, just soften everything, draped across your support. And just breathe. Maybe coming back to that inhaling of the light, the energy, the sunshine. Maybe taking a cleansing breath here once again, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth to soften a little bit more. And then we'll replace the soles of the feet to the mat. Press the hips upward just enough to remove your support and set it to one side. And then we'll bring the small of the back all the way down to the mat and draw one knee and then the other in towards the heart. Just kind of let the knees come away from the upper body for just a moment, kind of counteracting that big hip opening we just had before you draw the knees any closer, and rock a little from side to side, just nice and slow, and letting that mat massage your back here. And then as your hips are ready, go ahead and draw the knees a little closer in towards the heart, and maybe rotate the ankles in one direction and then the other. And just make it nice and soft and easy. And then we'll plant the right foot down on the earth, and let's extend the left leg up towards the sky. And we'll just interlace the fingers behind the left thigh here. If you have a strap, you might want to use a strap here, but we'll just assume that straps aren't handy, and we'll just do it without a strap if you like, either way. And we'll just kind of draw that foot a little higher, closer towards the top of the head. Maybe flex through the left heel. The left leg might be straight or it might be a little bit bent down here, pressing through the heel, drawing a little closer to the belly. As you inhale, really press the thigh into the hands, and as you exhale, draw those toes down towards the forehead, noticing the sensations in the calf and the hamstring and the hips. Let's point and flex the foot here. And we'll rotate the ankle in one direction and then the other. And then we'll flex the foot and bring the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right knee. And then we'll inhale that right leg up and interlace the fingers behind the right thigh, coming into our nice figure four stretch here. And we'll just breathe into this hip, opening up through the IT band on the left side. You can keep the feet relaxed here if that's comfortable for you, but if this is hard on the knees, you might want to flex the feet to really engage the ligaments around the knees and keep them nice and supported. We'll just breathe here. Next time you inhale, keep the legs where they are, but release the hands out to the sides in a T, palms up or down. Inhale here, and as you exhale, really engage the core to support the spine and the hips. And then the next time you inhale, we'll just roll everything over towards the right side, bringing the left foot down to the earth, and then maybe taking your gaze out over the left palm. Nice little twist here. Nice little stretch in that left hip. Maybe you might want to draw the left knee a little closer to you with your right hand, or you might even want to press it away a little bit and see how that changes the sensations here for you. Or you may just want to find some stillness. Go ahead and stack the left leg on top of the right, lining up the ankles and the knees. We'll inhale once again, exhale to really engage that core. And then when you inhale, we'll bring the knees back up to center. Give them a little hug, draw the nose to the knees, realigning everything. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet back down towards the earth, and then extend the right leg up towards the sky. Interlace those fingers behind the right thigh, maybe switching it up this time so the default finger is not on top, so it might feel a little bit awkward here. And we'll just start with the sole of the foot up towards the sky, finding extension there. And as you continue to breathe here, you can draw the foot a little bit closer towards your forehead. Maybe flexing through that right foot and sort of drawing those toes downward towards the face. Maybe bending the knee generously or keeping it towards straight. Just whatever feels good for your body and your hips today. Maybe coming a little deeper with every exhale, noticing what you notice in the leg. Point and flex the right foot a little bit. Maybe rotate the ankle in one direction and then the other. And then we'll bend the right knee and bring the ankle to the left thigh and come into your figure four here. You can reach up with the hands to interlace the fingers again in that not default position. And we'll find your nice supine figure four here. Just really allow the feet to be soft if that feels good, or engaged and flexed to support the knees. And just notice what you feel in the right hip. Soften the jaw, soften the skin of the face, allow the shoulders to be soft and the chin to be tucked. And then we'll keep the legs right where they are, and we'll open the arms out into a T. Take that nice big breath so that you can engage the core for support for your spine. And then inhale the legs over to the left as the gaze comes over towards the right. And just allow the legs to be soft here. Finding a couple breaths in stillness first before you make any adjustments to this right knee. But then when you're ready, maybe draw the knee closer, getting a little deeper into that hip, or maybe press the knee away gently. Two more full breaths here. And then when you're ready, restack those legs. And on an inhale, we'll bring them back up to center. Invite the forehead towards the knees. Give yourself a nice big hug here. And then we'll rock and roll up and down the spine. Maybe 3, 4, 5 rocks. Give yourself a little massage there. And then we'll come all the way over. And we'll come right down to Sphinx Pose. Forearms on the mat. Tops of the feet on the mat. Heart drawing forward. We'll just kind of draw the arms back, keeping the elbows underneath the shoulders as we draw the heart forward. And if this is hard on the low back, you can have the feet a little wider on the mat. So whatever feels good for you here. And we'll inhale nice and tall here, and then exhale chin to chest. Inhale right ear, right shoulder. Exhale chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Just kind of rocking back and forth, stopping wherever feels good to you. And then we'll go ahead and release the forehead down towards the mat and kind of scooch over towards the left side of the mat, so that you have a little space for your right leg on the right side, or you might want to use a blanket underneath the right leg. But we're going to bend the right leg and bring the knee up towards the hip and rest the left side of the head on the mat. You might need to make some adjustments here with your flesh or belly or your breasts or whatever you got going on. We'll just bring the arms to bent elbow, 90-degree position, and the knee on the right side here also towards a 90-degree position. And we'll just allow the hips to open just a little bit more, just passively getting into the hips, coming back to that nice balanced breath. Softening through the shoulders. Softening through the hips, allowing the body to be heavy. Two more breaths here. Soften the jaw. Then we'll straighten out that right leg. scooch over to the right side of the mat, bring the right temple, right cheek down, and hike that left leg up, coming into your cactus arms, adjusting whatever needs adjusting so that you can find some comfort here and some stillness. You might even want to rest the rib cage to a blanket here to give the body a little bit more space. But once you find the spot that feels comfortable and supportive for you, just allow the body to begin to soften. Allow the hips to be heavy. Allow the shoulders to relax. Find 2 more breaths here. And then we'll bring the leg back straight again. We'll press into the mat and come all the way back to child's pose, bringing the knees as wide as the mat or as is comfortable for you. Bring those hips down towards the heels, and then just allow the body to soften towards the earth, letting the arms come down to the mat. Let's just get into the shoulders a little bit here. So just lift yourself just enough to thread that left arm underneath the right. And then just come right back down to the mat with the left temple. You can walk that right arm forward just a little bit up onto the fingertips and maybe even draw it over towards the left a little, really getting into that right side body. Nice big breaths here. You might want to just soften that arm down, anchoring the left arm down to the mat with the right. 2 more breaths here. And then we'll just switch. Just come out of this just enough to draw the right arm underneath the left, bringing the right temple down to the mat and walking those left fingertips out, maybe even a little over towards the right. Getting nice and long through the left side body for a breath or 2, and then either stay here or find a variation that works for you, or maybe let that left arm anchor the right down towards the earth. One more big breath. And then we'll go ahead and press on up, draw the knees to parallel, and either swing the legs out to right or left, or cross them behind you and roll the sit bones over so that you can come into a nice seat. We'll go ahead and send the legs out straight. And we're going to do a little bit of a twist here. So you can bring the right leg in, and then either leave it here or cross it over the left. You can stay here, or you can bend the left knee and kind of stack the knees one on top of the other, coming into cow face pose. And you can kind of draw the feet away from one another here. Sit up nice and tall, find your nice long rose stem of a spine. The butt of the head reaching up towards the sunlight, and then maybe hinge forward at the hips, bringing the fingertips down to the mat in front of you. Really getting nice and deep into that hip. Maybe even coming a little bit closer to the knees. Maybe even rounding the head forward and down towards the mat, finding softness in the arms if that feels good here. Breathe into the hips. One more breath. And then we'll inhale, walking the spine up, coming into victorious pose. And let's just exhale, drawing the left arm across the heart, getting into that left shoulder once again. Inhale here, and as you exhale, allow that left arm to come to the top of the right thigh. And just swim those right fingertips back behind the hips so that you can find your little twist here. Inhaling, lengthen the spine, crown reaching towards the sky. Exhale, maybe looking back over that right shoulder. One more full breath here. And then as we inhale, we'll come back through center, bring the fingertips down to the left side here and have a counter twist, letting the head drop towards the left side. Just getting into that right shoulder a little bit. And then we'll inhale back up to a nice tall spine. And then we'll stack the shins, kind of stacking along. And I guess I'm gonna turn towards the camera so you can see a little bit better. So I'm kind of like cross-legged position here, but I'm drawing the shins toward one another. And as you can see, there's quite a little bit of space between my right knee and my left foot. That's okay. If you want a little support there, you can bring a block to this area or a blanket or a pillow, or you can just kind of gently encourage that hip to open a little more by maybe pressing into the thigh with the heel of the right hand. And from here, you've got your foot right here, you've got your shin right here. You might want to bring a little massage along the shin, really difficult place to get into and stretch. Oh, yeah, that feels good. And you might want to massage the foot a little bit, maybe massaging the heel and the ankle, taking your mind off what's going on in that hip over there, maybe squeezing the toes a little bit. Just find a little juicy massage right here. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. So let's cross the left leg over the right, coming into our cow face legs. Just kind of press into the earth with your hands a little bit so that you can adjust the sit bones so you're kind of drawing towards level here. Now, granted, that left hip is going to maybe, for me it does anyway, feel a little bit higher than the right, but we want to just kind of encourage it downward. Maybe hold on to those feet. Inhale, nice tall spine here, and exhale, just hinging forward, reaching forward with those fingertips. Maybe coming a little closer to the earth. Maybe allowing the back to round and the head to be heavy and the upper body to soften and sink into that hip. Keep those feet flexed if this is hard on the knees, and notice how that creates a little bit of support here. And then we'll inhale up to a nice tall spine, coming into your victorious pose, and we'll exhale to draw the right arm across the heart. Breathing into that right shoulder. Whoop. I just noticed from looking at the camera, I was really leaning over here. We want to draw that nice tall spine. And then we'll release the hand and bring that right forearm to the top of the left thigh and swim those left fingertips around behind you, getting your twist. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, softening into your twist. And then we'll inhale through center and find your counter twist, fingertips to the right side, rounding forward and down towards the earth. We'll inhale back to a tall spine, and we'll stack those shins. So you might notice the side is a little bit deeper or a little bit less deep for you, just maybe different. Really maybe encourage the opening in the left thigh a little bit by finding a little gentle massage with the left heel of the hand. Maybe find some massage in this left shin or calf, or maybe the foot, the ankle, the toes, just whatever feels good to you. Everybody's going to be different. Different things are going to feel good on different days. And then we'll go ahead and release the legs out nice and long. Center yourself on the mat. And we'll just shake them out here a little bit. Maybe windshield wiper the feet a little bit. And then let's bring the palms of the hands down to the earth besides the hips. And then we're just going to push up into the hands and lift the hips just enough to kind of open them a little bit more. Maybe allow the head to come back and the throat to open. You might find you can push the hips really, really high here or just an inch or two. Doesn't matter. We're just going to lay them back down on the earth and then bend those knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor and find your way down to the mat, whichever way feels good for you. And we'll stretch everything out nice and long here. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet together into our reclined Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, and we'll bring the arms to goalpost arms or cactus arms. And just notice the open vulnerability of this position of just being completely open. Those feet might want to creep away from the hips. If that's the case, just let them come to a place where it's comfortable for you. And you might even want to put blocks or blankets under the knees for support. But then allow this opening, allow the vulnerability of this position to help you to find your courage, your bravery, the ability to try new things, the ability to put yourself out there, the ability to have a soft front, even as we have a strong back. Couple more breaths here, softening the jaw, softening the muscles of the face. And then when you're ready, extend one leg and then the other. Bring the hands down towards the hips and open the palms up towards that sky, coming into your final Shavasana. Snuggle those shoulder blades in towards one another. Maybe press into the heels so that you can lift the hips to snuggle the low back down towards your mat. And then just find softness. Ow, that kind of hurt. Hopefully you found a soft place for your knuckles to land. And we'll just come back to that visualization that we started with, that long, beautiful rose. We'll just focus here on the light. And we'll just breathe that light. Again, whatever makes sense to you, if it's the chemical composition of the air you're breathing, if it's the energetic composition that speaks to you, if it's the glowing, warm, yellow sunlight. Just inhale that energy, that light. Letting it permeate the body, letting it fill the body. Creeping into the toes, moving up into the feet and the ankles. Infusing your shins and your calves and your knees with light and warmth, sunshine, thighs, the hips, belly, back body, shoulder blades. Then maybe visualizing it coming in through the fingers and into the palms and the back of the hands. Warming and softening the wrists and the forearms and the elbows. The upper arms and the shoulders. The heart. The neck, the throat. The back of the skull. Front of the face, the jaw, the eyes, the top of the head. Filling up your brain, your body with this beautiful, warm, bright, yellow, lovely sunlight, this energy, this prana. And as you inhale, just imagine this light expanding all around your body. And as you exhale, allow all of the light to come in to concentrate at your center. Inhale, expanding the light a little bit further this time. Maybe filling up the space you're in. And exhale, drawing it inward to your core, to your heart. Inhale, expanding maybe beyond your home, maybe into your neighborhood. And then drawing it inward once again. Bright, concentrated, almost so bright you can't even look at it. We'll just keep inhaling to expand the light farther and farther out, encompassing your city, your state, your country, maybe even the entire world, bathing in this beautiful, bright, warm, joyful, life-giving sunlight. And the next time you exhale, draw all of that goodwill, that peace, that well-being, that harmony back into you. Notice the energy flowing through your body. Notice the space that you've created. Two more nice big breaths wherever you are. And then we'll begin to find some gentle, soft movement, maybe starting with wiggling the toes, and then the fingers, rotating wrists and ankles in one direction and then the other. And then we'll stretch everything out nice and long, getting the toes as far away from the fingertips as you can. And then we'll bend one knee and then the other, bringing the soles back to the mat. And with the arms still extended, we'll just windshield wiper the knees gently from side to side once again. And then you'll just roll to whatever side serves you best, resting your head to your bottom arm, keeping the eyes closed for now, coming into your little fetal position. And then we'll press back up to a nice tall seat, coming into Dandasana, staff pose, with the legs extended out in front of you and finding that nice tall spine again, reaching those fingertips out towards the sides. Let's go ahead and inhale those arms up towards the sky. Grab all that sunlight and bring it down to your heart with a sigh. And this is where we tilt the chin gently, bowing down in respect for yourself, in appreciation for your practice, acknowledging all who have practiced with you and all around the world, and bringing the hope and the wish and the prayer that all beings everywhere be happy and free. Maybe allowing our thoughts, our words, our deeds and our actions to contribute to that in some way. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste.